this because that game just ruined everything.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really I'm ready for love today.
And welcome to NFL Week 5. I'm your host Jason with the Sunday Blitz. I say it's Week 5, but I think the Titans are perpetually stuck in Week 3. It's Groundhog's Day, where every Sunday they wake up and there's no football. Like I said, I'm your host Jason at BFTG Jason, and with me, as always, is my boy at BFTG Pod Showtime George. George, what's going on, man?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, not much. Just trying to set a roster in a COVID season where you've already got one game postponed. You got another one that's probably going to be postponed. I got people questioning me, hey, are we doing replacement players this week? The answer is no, we're not doing replacement players this week. We knew this game was in jeopardy. We knew the Patriots game was in jeopardy. It's just plan ahead. Man, it's been a challenge so far. Like, thank your commissioners. If you've got a commissioner who's good, thank them. They absolutely 100% deserve your thanks because this season is nothing but a challenge.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. On top of all the leagues I'm in, with the charity that we run, like I'm commissioning and answering and fielding questions on roster setups for this week and whether we're going to be lenient and so yeah, go out there, give your commissioner a socially distanced hug. But with us as well, a man who is super focused on his rankings at Steve Speck 21. Steve, good morning, sir. How are those rankings looking?
Good morning, man. And just kind of doing it on the fly. I mean, realistically, the news broke this morning and I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, honestly, I've already been planning for this game and the Titans game. As much as I want to start guys like a Derrick Henry or like Devin Singletary, or even, in this game, if Newton was going to be available, really not many Broncos you're going to be looking to start. Obviously, you could play a Melvin Gordon, you could play Tim Patrick, you could play N'Keal Harry, Phillip Lindsay, so on and so forth. But it's you had to be prepared to pivot. And to be perfectly honest with you, unless I absolutely had to, I wasn't playing anybody from these games. I mean, you look at the number of cases with Tennessee, you look at the cases with New England. It just, what amazes me is, the Bills and Patriots haven't played, and obviously they're not playing this week, but playing, going up against the Titans or whatever, that they've really had nothing pop up. So there's just so much uncertainty between both of those games. I was already pivoting away. If you're not playing today, or you're not playing the Monday night game, and there's could always still be a possibility of that because of the slight scare that we had with New Orleans last week. I felt a lot more comfortable with that game than dealing with the Pats and Broncos and then the Titans and Bills. So you should have already been planning to pivot from these guys. I'm telling you, now I'm going through my rankings and re-racking these things because that was just a huge curveball this morning.
Well, so before I move on to our questions and everything, I want to also mention Dirty Jobs at Dirty Jobs 21. He's in the background. He's our boy who's screening phone calls and always kicking ass behind the scenes. So I wanted to mention him. But you two, before we do jump into the questions, if you're Roger Goodell at this point, let's pretend you've got Roger Goodell's ears. What are you doing to make this better? What are your plans?
Well, if I had his ear, hopefully I had his ear prior to this week, and I had his ear in the offseason as well. Well, I would have asked him, why the fuck didn't you put in an extra bye week? So give each team 2 bye weeks, which then allows you to have a ton of flexibility throughout the season. Push it to 18 weeks. give yourself that extra bye week and allow yourself to have flexibility in case you have games that need to be canceled, rescheduled, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, it's great to look back, but like we're past that point. So what do we do now?
I would still push for the extra bye week, honestly. Extend the season. Like, you can always go in, extend the season, and you can always adjust the schedule to where every team has an extra bye week.
I think the struggle there is going to be lining up the stadiums because, you know, the stadiums don't necessarily sit idle. So I think that might be an issue. You can work it out, I'm sure. You can
work it out between college stadiums. I mean, listen, you don't even need big stadiums to play. Like, I would say probably 50 to 60% of these teams are not allowing capacity at all. Like, they're not allowing anybody in the stands. So you don't need a huge stadium to play your game in. Like, you can definitely play it in college. If you're in the state of Texas or California, you could even play it in some of those high school stadiums because they're massive.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, in this whole entire thing, you also have the option of, I mean, I guess worst case scenario, if you have to implement another bye week, you know, you can also push out, you know, that week between the conference championship games and the Super Bowl. You can always just eliminate that too if you have to push the season a little bit and just kind of readjust from there. But like, honestly, the only other option is, you know, if you're sitting there and you have teams that are constantly having issues, there has to be some protocol somewhere that's being broken. There has to be something going on. And if it's a repeatable situation, you might just have to say, hey guys, you know what? We've done this. We're doing this. You seem to be sticking out compared to the rest of the league. Everybody has all this stuff going on. You're just taking the L for the week. You know, this team is not playing because of what you guys have going on. They're getting the W. You're getting the L. Next time it's going to happen. Next time it happens, if it happens again, I'm going to slap you with a fine and maybe dock you some picks or something. Like it. There has to be a level of swinging the hammer here, because if there are players that are breaking protocol and it's continuously happening, and these guys are getting tested often. There's a lot of tests. These are rapid tests. And I know rapid tests are only like, I think they're like 96% accurate or whatever. You know, supposedly a Jets player tested positive, but that was a false positive. You know, and that game's still continuing to go on. But there's going to be some ways to work around this. And if you do have to implement another bye week, then you eliminate the week in between the conference championship games and the Super Bowl. And if teams continue to do this, you have to penalize them in some way.
Yeah, I agree there. So what do you think a competitive advantage is for one team? Like, let's say the Titans get an extra bye week compared to everybody else. Yeah, they take one extra loss, but you think there's a competitive advantage there for your team? And it's early in the season, so maybe not, but you think there's a competitive advantage if a team gets an extra bye compared to all the other teams? Maybe they get a week to rest up. It's just all those things just play out huge in this season, and it just seems like there wasn't a lot of planning. It was just kind of like, we're playing the season and we hope everything goes well.
Well, and that's all you really had in favor for you. And is there a potential benefit? I don't know. Yes and no. You can look at both sides of it. I mean, again, these teams didn't have an off season. So to top that off, you have guys that are coming in. I mean, look at AJ Brown, for example. Okay, yeah, he's had time to get his knee a little bit better and come back, but he still has had no time. So who knows what he's even going to be able to come in and do? Who knows if he's going to come in and suffer another injury? Right. So you can really look at both sides of it. So I don't really see nothing but pros and cons, and I don't think one outweighs the other in the situation. But you know, the NFL is going to play. There's so much money involved. You look at the teams across the league. There are teams that are letting fans in. There are teams that are not letting fans in. Everybody's doing everything different. Even their protocols are different. So maybe the NFL needs to mandate certain things that maybe they are and we just don't know about it. And if they're not, maybe they need to. But yeah, I don't see one pro with the pro con situation, one outweighing the other.
So I do want to give a quick shout out to the Miami Dolphins. Our governor here in Florida has said, hey, if you guys want to go full capacity in your stadiums, you know, you're absolutely welcome to. And Miami Dolphins organization came out and said, yeah, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, they've capped their capacity at 17,000, which is, listen, 17,000 people is a lot of people, but I believe the stadium holds like 36,000. So when you're looking at it, like, it's 36,000 people could fit in there, but they're only going to go 17. That's plenty of space. The Dolphins Stadium is an outdoor stadium at that. So it's a little bit better of a situation. So I just want to give a shout out to the Dolphins for stepping up, saying, yeah, no, we're not going to go to full capacity. We're gonna ride it at the lower level.
Do you think that they did that because they wanted to be responsible? Or, and here's the joke part, do you think that they did that because they knew they weren't going to hit capacity and it would be embarrassing?
I think they'd get more than 17,000 people, to be honest. Especially once Tua takes over. Like, I think Dolphin fans are just clamoring to be able to go watch Tua play, to see what we got. Our team is a competitive team, unlike last year. It was not competitive. Like, we've been a pretty competitive team so far this year. We hung in there. We could have beat the Patriots in New England if it wasn't for a couple of bad throws by Ryan Fitzpatrick. We hung with the Seattle Seahawks for the most part, last week. So it's a competitive team. I've always said the team's not going to be good this year. They're probably not going to be good next year. But what I wanted to see out of them is how competitive they are. And they are a competitive team. So I'm all about it.
About it.
So you guys, it looks like you guys have a 67,000.
It's 67,000. Okay,
it's 67. So like you guys were even much more conservative, and you guys have a rate of 92.7% at home. So you're looking at, my math's not very good, but you're looking at somewhere between 55 and 60,000 people on average. If that's the case, so that means to me that you guys did the right thing there, and you weren't just worried about fans showing up or not showing up. And again, like I said, it was just kind of a joke.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I had to pick it. I had to pick on you. So we are. So it looks like some of our regulars have decided to wake up a little bit. It's taken a little bit of time, but we got Oswaldo, who has made the switch to follow us on YouTube instead of on Mixler. So
my man Oswaldo, good job.
Oswaldo, we want to say thank you, and
much love.
There's Oswaldo saying, "Tell Dirty Jobs to wake his ass up."
So that's the reason.
That's asking a lot of them.
Logo here. He's actually asleep right now.
It's nap time.
No, give him my credit. It's 10:45 here on the East Coast, so Mike's probably been awake for like 8 hours
and high for about 7 of those.
Hey, hashtag producers' lives matter.
They do. They do.
All right, so we're gonna jump into this first question here from Oswaldo, and he says, "Good morning, fellas. Would you all start Le'Veon Bell over Higbee, AJ Brown, Michael Thomas, Edmonds?" At the flex position in a PPR league?
For me, I might not start him over Edmonds. Everybody else, I mean, obviously AJ Brown. I'm starting him over AJ Brown just because of what I talked about before. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not confident that game's going to happen. If it does, great. That's Tuesday football for everybody. Michael Thomas, I mean, high ankle sprain. I mean, are we even expecting him to play?
I'm not expecting him to play.
Yeah, so even if he did, I'm not expecting a lot out of Michael Thomas. Higbee's been kind of fading off. I was never really a big Higbee guy anyways, but he's kind of fading off in that offense a little bit. Could he come out and have a good game? Sure. Edmonds, I think what his floor is, and he has a good matchup. So Le'Veon Bell, you're going to have Flacco as your starting quarterback. He's in Adam Gase's offense. The only thing about Bell in relationship to Edmonds is Bell might get more volume, but we don't know that 100% for sure. Coming back from a hamstring injury, we're all aware of the type of touches that Frank Gore takes from running backs across the league, even though he's 1,000 years old. So I would probably start Edmonds in that situation, especially in PPR.
That's kind of where I wanted to lean to, especially, hearing how Arizona's been hearing how and watching how Arizona's been disappointed with the performance Drake's put up.
Yep.
I can see Edmonds getting a bigger role going forward. So I would take I take the shot on an upside with Edmonds over what we think is an upside with Bell because you just haven't seen it from him since he's been on the Jets.
Right.
If it was me, I think I agree with everything you guys said. I don't know if I'd start him over Higbee though. I think I would go with Higbee in the PPR. I'm definitely not starting him AJ Brown over Bell. That's not happening. I'm not starting Michael Thomas over him. I don't trust either one of those guys.
Nope.
Edmonds is close, but I think I would go Bell over Edmonds, and I think I'd go Higbee over Brown. So I'll be the lone dissenter here, but I think Higbee over Bell as well, personally.
Okay, so 2 for Edmonds, 1 for Higbee. All right, Reese Thomas wants to say pick 2. Cole Beasley, Russ Gage, Jonnu Smith, Dalton Schultz.
Gage and Schultz for me.
Yeah, that's easy.
I mean,
So I think it's pretty safe to say all 3 of us are going to be fading everybody from that Tennessee Bills game.
Tennessee Bills, and then obviously the game that just got postponed.
Yeah. The game that got postponed, you know, that's easy. They're not playing, so you shouldn't even be asking if you should start them.
I'm literally right now, I am literally, as we're going through all this and I'm adjusting my rankings, I am taking everybody from that Tuesday game. I'm not taking them out just in case the game happens, but I am burying them in my rankings just so I have them ranked at least still. But yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not starting anybody in that game. I've benched all my players in that game.
Yep, as have I.
all right, and we've got Oswaldo. Do you like Schultz over Higbee this week?
I do.
I do.
I do too. Against the Giants, come on, give me some of that. Tell Dirt. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this one again, just to make sure he's still awake.
To make sure he understands.
Just to make sure he's still awake. All right. Barry Iaconelli, I think I said that right. I'm carrying 7 running backs and only 4 wide receivers. Should I drop Zach Moss and pick up Ruggs?
No. And the reason why is with the way this season has been playing out, like I want all the running backs possible on my team. Zach Moss is somebody you could throw in your flex almost on a weekly basis. So with the position being as thin as it is, I want all the running backs. I don't care if there's a chance they're going to play. If there's a chance they're healthy, I want the running backs over the wide receivers based solely on depth of position. Just give me the running backs. I would not do that.
See, for me, it depends on what you're able to start, right? I mean, I'm all on board with starting a bunch of running backs, but again with Zach Moss, we don't know how he's going to come back from his injury. We also don't know how Ruggs is going to come back from his injury. But however, before Ruggs went out, they were featuring him in that offense. So I think his opportunity for boom bust plays, I think their volume would actually be relatively close on a game in, game out basis. Touches might lean a little bit towards Moss, but if you have 7 running backs that you can even think about starting in a pinch and you only have 4 wide receivers, given the COVID situation, I think that's a fair swap. Opportunity, upside, and depth all around.
I think where I lean on this is carrying the running backs only because, and I did this with a lot of my teams, even in really deep dynasty leagues this year, where I had to go look to see what was available just in case some of these games don't go off, and then maybe there's a late injury, on Monday night or whatever. I just wanted to see what was available. And there's a handful of wide receivers that have been not great, but usable on every single waiver wire that I looked at. There's literally 0 running backs. Every running back that has any kind of play has been snatched up. So for me, I'd love to have the talent of Ruggs on the team. I just worry that if I let somebody like Moss go and I need that running back down the line, I'm not going to be able to find another running back, but I can sure as heck find a usable wide receiver. So right now, that's all the questions we've got here. George, if you want to take over the Mixler questions.
Sure. Let me run through a couple of these Mixler questions. Sorry, I was It's been one of those years.
It's going to continue, man.
It is. It absolutely is. I'm trying to find the most recent. Okay, here we go. Matt Mosher, PPR. I know this is ugly, but which quarterback for the week? Carr or Wentz?
It is ugly.
Yeah,
I think I go Carr.
ugly.
I think I go Carr.
I don't mind Carr, just because they're playing Kansas City. I know their defense is respectable. There's no doubt about that, but it's a situation to where, the Raiders might have to sling that ball around a little bit because, Kansas City, here's the funny thing about Kansas City is they came out earlier in the week. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but it was kind of like they were using the first couple of games this season as kind of like their preseason, and now they're starting to implement even more things into their playbook. So we've seen what they've done through the first 4 weeks, and now they're going to implement more. So things can get a little bit interesting with that offense, and they might just still be putting up a ton of points. So, yeah, it's very possible that Carr is going to be throwing the ball a lot.
And I don't want Wentz against the Steelers defense.
No,
that's where I'm at. With that, as bad as that offensive line is and as banged up as his weapons are, I don't want to. If I don't have to play Wentz in any situation this week against the Steelers, and like you said, the Carr's going to have the let's just face it, the Raiders are going to be behind most of this game, and Carr's going to have to throw. So I think that's just going to benefit you there. It's not like I'm expecting a huge game from Carr, but compared to what you're going to get from Wentz.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, definitely start Carr. That's unanimous. Next question I put in the private chat for you guys to follow along because it's kind of long. PPR lineup is Burrow, McLaurin, Beckham, McKinnon, Cotter, Kittle, flexing this is from JFan, by the way. Flexing Gibson. His bench has Gage, Edelman, Garoppolo, AJ Brown, Kelly. Does he make any switches?
So he's starting Burrow, McLaurin, Beckham, McKinnon, Connor, Kittle, and he's flexing Gibson. He has Gage, Edelman.
I don't see any switches there.
I don't either.
So we don't flex Kelly instead of Gibson?
I don't. No. Gibson, dude, I'm telling you, Gibson's the off. It's him and McLaurin, and I'm very curious to see. We know Kyle Allen in Carolina last year, and we know DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey saw a lot. And realistically, I'm not comparing Antonio Gibson to Christian McCaffrey by any means, but he carries a similar skill set. And they drafted this guy. His volume of touches has been increasing. He has the target volume on top of it. So especially in PPR, I don't want to do that at all. Okay. The only thing is, and I don't know if I'm saying anything. Do we know if Mostert is playing? Is he starting?
I think he's playing. The last update I got from him is he is expected to play.
He's okay, so he is expected to play. I know Coleman's not back yet, so I still expect a good amount of volume for McKinnon. I expect him to kind of be the third down guy as well.
Yep.
And you know how San Francisco is. I mean, they mix their running backs in and out. So like Gage to McKinnon with Mostert being back is the only thing that I'm even on the fence about because Julio Jones is not going to play. But I think I'd still lean McKinnon there.
Same. All right. There's more to this question. He needs to choose one to drop for a kicker. And should he drop somebody for T. Higgins? If I've got to drop.
So any of the names listed.
Yeah, I'm dropping Edelman for a kicker, believe it or not.
I'm dropping Garoppolo.
I'm not dropping Garoppolo. I would.
Neither am I.
I'd probably drop Edelman.
In a COVID season, I'm sorry. I support carrying more than one quarterback.
But let me ask you if.
Yes, you've come to the dark side.
I have.
I mean, I'd like to know what else was available there because, and it's not that I don't mind carrying two quarterbacks. I'm doing it in a couple of my redraft leagues, but it depends on what level of quarterbacks there are. on the bench. Like, it's not like Garoppolo's something special. So if it was Josh Allen, okay, don't drop him. But are you guys really that enamored with Garoppolo as a quarterback one going forward? Or is he going to be streaming week in and week out?
I think he's a streaming guy. He's a guy that you're going to be able to play if you get a pop-up COVID situation. He's a guy that you're going to be able to play during your bye week. And remember, Garoppolo has not had all of his pieces to this offense. This will be the first week that he actually has it.
So I guess my answer there would be, if you have another streaming option on the waiver wire, or if there's several streaming options there, then maybe drop Garoppolo and then pick up a quarterback next week versus somebody like Edelman. But that
depends who's available. I mean, for me, for all the guys listed on this list, I would say Edelman's my least favorite.
All right.
All right. J-Fan also wants to know, he's got a couple questions here. PPR, does he drop T.Y. Hilton for Dearness Johnson? I would say yes, because I favor the running backs over the wide receivers.
Yeah, I'll probably second that.
And George and I talked a little bit about this question before the show, and the only hesitation was because T.Y. Hilton's name. But if that dude was named Bob Johnson, we wouldn't give a crap about him. We would have said,
Bob is good, man. Bob's really good.
What's your problem with Bob?
I love Bob Johnson.
Bob?
We would have said 3 weeks ago. Oh, I mean, who doesn't love Bob's Johnson at this point? He's got Mo Alley's cocks.
You don't.
He's got Mo Alley's cocks. That's all I know. No, so if he was just some random guy, we would have dropped him weeks ago. So he hasn't shown any signs of life. So I say let's go ahead and dump him.
Jason wants to drop the Johnson. Yeah, no, I agree completely. Go ahead, drop him for Dearness Johnson. 49ers or Chiefs defense? I think I lean the Chiefs. They've been playing really, really well.
Yeah, and I think they have everybody back now. Everybody important, anyways.
I'm going to say the 49ers defense. I'll be the odd man out. I'm still not a huge fan of that Dolphins offense, and I think the Raiders offense is better. And like I said, they're going to have to throw it, and they're going to put up points.
All right. Last one from J-Fan. PPR, Dearness Johnson or Le'Veon Bell? And for me personally, I lean Bell here.
Ew. I don't know. I still might go Johnson. I mean, Bell will probably get more volume. He'll probably get more touches. It's just they don't do anything with him. And Joe Flacco is starting in Adam Gase's offense this week. I don't know. And the offensive line in Cleveland's better. And George, we got into this on Tuesday on the waiver show, but I just still think Johnson's going to get 10 to 12 touches, and he's going to be more efficient with it. And I think your opportunity for a touchdown is better.
I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you both.
Start
neither.
I am leaning towards Johnson. No, I like
shocker.
Or how about this? I love Johnson this week.
Yes, you do.
I don't love him. I just like his opportunity better than I like Le'Veon Bell's. I know they're playing the Colts, and the Colts have a good defense, but that, like you said, that offensive line's really good with the Browns. I think that might help a little bit against a good defense in Indianapolis. And until Adam Gase shows me he knows how to use a running back in any way, shape, or form, it's hard for me to. I wanted Le'Veon Bell when Adam Gase was getting fired after the bye week, or before the bye week, or his 10 days off after the Thursday game. Sorry. That's when I wanted Le'Veon Bell. That didn't happen. I want out of him.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, I was all over the place.
No, you're fine. But if you've been paying attention to what Adam Gase has been doing, he's actually been using his running backs rather well. Like, he's getting Frank Gore 18 to 19 touches a game, and he's averaging a stellar 2.3 yards per carry with those touches.
Can I say, when you say Adam Gase has been using his running backs well, and then you say he's used, then you say he's given Gore 18 touches. Those two things are incongruous. Those things don't go well together.
I know,
George, you're killing our credibility here, man.
listen. Anybody who was taking that as a serious take, you have not been paying attention for the last 3 years on the Blitz. Okay, Adam Gase is by far and away the worst coach in the NFL. I just want to say that for total transparency, he is the absolute worst. Even though he led Peyton Manning to NFL record 55 touchdown passes.
Peyton Manning led him to this, so quote unquote, Adam Gase is an offensive genius getting jobs across the league. Peyton Manning led him.
What happened to Peyton Manning after Adam Gase left? Dude,
Peyton Manning was never the same. They got rid of Adam Gase. He went on to greener pastures, and
because he was 800 years old with no neck.
All I know is I've seen him with Gase and without Gase. I'm just saying. All right.
I'm logging off, guys. I can't.
Hey, I'm logged in as an admin here. I can do that for you if you want.
That's fine. Just kick me out.
Oh, we're having way too much fun this morning. All right, let's get to the next one here. Bobby Pigskins wants to know Higgins versus Baltimore or Pascal versus Cleveland. Half-point PPR.
Oh, man, I have to take Higgins with the upside.
Same here.
Yep.
He's got another question here. Bobby's got a couple here. Flex Gaskin over Derrick Henry or put in Latavius Murray and hope the Titans-Bills game happens.
The Titans? The
Titans. The Titans.
Remember, you know Gaskin's plan.
Yeah, that's it. I would start Gaskin over Henry for sure.
Because, think about it this way, guys. If you're in a situation to where you stick with Derrick Henry, okay, and we're through today and we're through the Monday night game, or even through today, and say your opponent's done, and you're only down 2 points, and you're like, all right, I got Derrick Henry going on Tuesday. We wake up Tuesday morning, oh, guess what? We had another positive test, game's postponed, moved. Well, then you're going to be awfully upset that you didn't start Myles Gaskin. Yep. So it's high risk, high reward, but man, to me, the risk far outweighs the reward. That's why I'm pivoting from that game.
Yeah, play the players you know for sure are going to play.
Yep. And guys that'll touch the ball, even if they only get 5 or 6 touches in the game, whether it's a running back or a wide receiver. Hey, that could be 5 or 6 more touches more than you're going to get out of the Tuesday game potentially.
Yeah, I'm going to go as far as saying if you have a suitable backup or somebody else you can slide in that is suitable, I would do that versus just not, versus taking the chance that the game actually happens. Now, a lot of us don't think the game is going to happen. They did have another positive COVID test that came out this morning. It was on one of the admins or something like that. It was not a player. So thankfully it wasn't a player. But I don't think this game is actually going to happen. So we will see, but be prepared to pivot. And if you've got something that is a guarantee this person will play, absolutely play that person versus the question that is Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Jonnu Smith, or Tannehill or any of the Bills. Like, it sucks, but, we've known from day one that this was going to be a possibility throughout the season, that we would have to go weeks without our players because of COVID. So.
Yeah, because this is not a situation where you have, let's just say hypothetically, you have Derrick Henry and Darrington Evans on your roster, and Derrick Henry's a game time decision, and then you get to the game, you're like, oh, Henry's inactive. Okay, well, I can just plug in Evans. It's not that situation. It's, another test came up. The whole game is gone. So players across the board are just gone. They're not playing.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So Bobby Pigskin says 2 weeks season pause in the name of player safety if I had Goodell's ear. The only problem with this is you assume the NFL actually cares about player safety.
Status, baby. No.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I think Curtis is on the line.
Well, yeah. So there is we've got a comment from Dirty Jobs that we do have a phone call. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess. Hey, Curtis, how you doing this morning?
What's up, Curtis?
What's up, guys? What's up? Yeah, it's me.
We figured it because Mike totally cut me off with the "It's Curtis, baby." How you doing this week, Curtis?
Man, I'm doing all right, guys. Just got a few questions about some leagues right now. Some last minute assistance from you guys as always.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, guys. Okay. In my main league, how do you feel about these three wide receivers? I'm starting Amari Cooper, Devontae Parker, and Cooper Kupp. You guys good with that?
I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I
don't know what your other options are, but I think that's a good set right there.
All right. Let me move on my flex. Now my flex is where it gets a little tricky because I have Michael Thomas, but I don't feel that. I feel the team gonna play it smart and give him another week. And even if he does play, that worst case scenario, he played and he's on a pitch count or something like that, and don't play the full game or he's like a decoy, and I'm not like doing what Michael Thomas usually do, and then I play him and I get fucked, and I'm gonna be upset. So I was thinking like I have Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. I could play either him or I can or I could play like Raheem Mostert. Or anything, you guys think I should wait Michael Thomas, like Michael Thomas. In the worst case scenario, he don't play. I have Jonas Smith as like a backup plan.
So I'm not playing Jonas Smith. I've pretty much am on the record saying I'm not playing anybody from that Titans Bills game unless I absolutely have to.
All right.
I don't think the game's going to happen, to be honest. I don't know what the NFL is going to do. If they cared about players, they would have canceled the game already. But they don't, because I guarantee you they're trying to figure out a way to still play this game.
I mean, honestly, I don't mind starting Mostert.
No.
That's who I was thinking too. I don't mind Deontay Johnson, but when you said Mostert, that's the guy who I want.
Is Mostert suiting up today?
From what I've seen, they're expecting him to play. I'll go through and double check, but I'm pretty positive from what I've seen so far this morning. They are expecting Mostert to play.
So report Raheem Mostert expected to play versus the Dolphins. That was 36 minutes ago from the San Francisco Chronicles.
Okay.
So yeah, as of like a half hour ago, they're expecting him to suit up and play.
So in full PPR, you will play Mostert over Johnson.
If it's full PPR, give me Deontay Johnson because of his target volume. I don't know if you said that part or I missed that part, one or the other. But if it's full PPR, give me Deontay Johnson.
It's full PPR.
Yeah, give me Deontay Johnson then.
There it is.
All right. Then this league is all set. Let me jump over to the other league. Okay, now this one I'm gonna give you guys like expertise for real, because this is ugly. This is very ugly. Okay. All right. My starting RB is Mike Davis, and my RB2 is where the shit show. I have a option between J.D. McKissick, Jeff Wilson Jr., and then I can either play Nyheim Hines or Malcolm Brown.
Man, that is a shitstorm. I think I'm going to go Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I was leaning as well, just because it's, we've seen good games from him. I mean, Jeff Wilson's always an option, but now with Mostert coming back, he's going to be relegated to just a couple of touches. Problem is, those might be on the goal line. I think I'm going to go Malcolm Brown.
See, what worries me is we've talked about that Washington front. So for me, I might take the shot on Naheem Hines.
That's 2 for Malcolm Brown, 1 for Naheem Hines.
So I just want to do a quick little. I want to do a quick little update. The Titans game. Apparently, the coach that had COVID hasn't been in their building for nearly 2 weeks. So I think they're saying that's the reason the NFL has not canceled the game yet.
Let's see what happens.
All right, guys. Let me switch over to the league then. I had a question. This is another ugly one. All right, guys. Who do you guys think I should? So what do you guys think I should do? You think I should in this league? I have option between playing sucky as T.Y. Hilton. I can hold out hope for Michael Thomas, or I can hold out hope for Julio Jones.
I don't think you have hope for either one of them. So I think you have to deal with T.Y. Hilton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect Jones to play, and if he does, I'm not expecting him to be very impactful. And I'm not playing Michael Thomas anywhere.
Agree.
Last question. All right, last question. In my flex position, I have a choice between James Conner and Antonio Gibson. Who do you think is a better play this week?
That's kind of tough. I like Connor.
I say I think Connor's going to be the better start.
And that would be 3 for 3.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Gibson. I mean, he's up against the Rams, but we saw what he did last week against the Ravens, who's a better defense in my opinion. But I think Connor's a better play.
Okay. Oh, actually, I realized it. Okay, and one more question. In this same league, I forgot. I have a ton of Michael Thomas. All right. Since I have a feeling about Michael Thomas, do you guys think I should play? What's the dude's name? Should I play JD McKissick, or I'm sorry, not JD McKissick. McKinnon. Should I play McKinnon from the 49ers, or should I play Antonio Gibson?
I'd probably go Gibson there.
I was going to say Gibson there.
Yeah,
if Mostert's playing.
My initial thought was Gibson as well.
All right, then. Yeah, okay, then I am good to go then, guys.
All right, go get that dub, Curtis.
All right, guys. Appreciate the help as always.
Good luck this week.
Good luck, Curtis.
Thank you.
All right, George, I'm going to jump into the questions we've got here in our live streaming chat.
Okay.
And Barry says, what is your opinion of Brian Hill going forward?
I like Brian Hill. I mean, he's involved. He's getting touches every game. And, you know, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I mean, I have him rostered where I can. Gurley goes out. He's a lead back. So, again, I think he's seeing right around 8 to 10 touches a game as it is. And he's already had one blow-up game. And if game script to where, I mean, we all seen Atlanta blow leads, but if game script actually goes to where they jump up on somebody, you know, Hill could see more touches there too. So that could be in his favor. So I like him. If he's available, he should be on rosters. Yeah,
I agree. And it's not just that he's getting touches, but he looks good when he actually
Absolutely.
gets the touches. That's the thing. You know, last year when he got touches, he looked bad. He didn't produce with them. This year, when he gets on the field, he honestly looks as good, if not better to me than what I've seen from Gurley through most of these games. So if they actually use him, I like his chances. Mini Jordan 718 full PPR. Pick a running back, a wide receiver, and a flex. And we're going to start with the running backs with Singletary, Gurley, D'Ernest, and Justin Jackson.
Well, Singletary's out for me.
Yep.
D'Ernest Johnson, Justin Jackson. I mean, I think I have to go Gurley here.
That's what I was going to say. I
I'm-
think it's Gurley.
I'm going Gurley. It's Gurley.
So wide receiver, Deontay Johnson, DJ Chark, or OBJ?
Full PPR, I'm going Deontay. I mean, his target volume's been insane when he's on the field. And Ben's still out there.
So I'm good with Deontay Johnson as well there, just because I know I can come back and flex OBJ.
Yep.
George, what is same? Yeah,
Same.
To me, it's.
I don't think
Deontay
you can sit.
Johnson.
I don't think you could. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Well, no, you were right. I was going to say it didn't matter to me which position you took the wide receiver in because I knew I was going to take the other one as the flex.
Yeah, I can't sit OBJ. I've been saying that almost all season. I can't sit him. If you listened last week, he had a huge game for you. And then it comes down to, for my flex, either Chark or Deontay. And I like Chark, don't get me wrong. I like Deontay a little bit more than I do Chark.
Well, so Chark is a good talent. It's just
absolutely
the opportunity hasn't been there, right?
I can't put a lot on OBJ with his performance last week. I mean, you got the touchdown pass from Jarvis Landry on a trick play. He managed to take a broken play and take it to the house on a reverse there. I mean, you take those two plays away, he doesn't really have much. Deontay Johnson has been the most consistent in my mind. Right.
All right. So Oswaldo says, hold up, first Cam Newton and now maybe Josh Allen. Damn it. What do I do? Find a third quarterback.
Get more quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Is there anybody available?
Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see. So dropping through some of these statements just to get to a question. He really can't afford to drop anyone. He can't really drop anybody because he has D. Adams, AJ Brown, Higbee, Edmonds, and Bell.
And Michael Thomas.
So those are the guys he doesn't want to drop to pick up a third quarterback. I mean, do you at that point do you drop Cam?
I would.
You're not dropping Josh Allen.
No, I'm keeping Josh Allen over Cam. So if you absolutely have to, then then what kind of worries me about this is we don't know where Cam Newton's at in the COVID protocol. Josh Allen and the Bills, unfortunately, have been caught up in a storm of just a mess with both of their matchups that, they're not probably even going to play this week. So,
well, so I think the one good thing that if they don't play that could come out of.
He said he has Cam on the IR spot.
So you can't. I was going to say the one good thing that came out of this for Josh Allen is if this is his bye, you've got the rest however many weeks if he doesn't get hurt.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Like, so there was a benefit there. I mean, okay, so going back through your players.
So wait a minute. How deep is I guess the unknown here, Oswaldo, is how deep is your roster? If you have Cam on your IR spot, and these are your options to drop, who are you starting? Like, how deep is your guys' bench? You know what I mean? Like, for me, as much as I would hate to say it, because I don't know what his tight end position is like, I'd probably drop Edmonds or Cam Newton. But if Cam Newton's on the IR spot, then that doesn't give him anything in regards to an available roster spot.
Well, so is Adams playing this week, or is he out, or do we not know?
They're on a bye this week.
Well, so it's. I guess
you're not dropping Devontae Adams.
No, is he IR eligible?
No, he's not IR eligible. They're just on a bye this week.
Okay, because he hasn't been playing, so I don't know if he's considered out through his bye.
No, they were talking about him, possibly playing last week. So he didn't play last week. Now they're on a bye this week. So I'm expecting Adams back next week.
Yeah, I think he says what screwed him is Le'Veon Bell coming out off injury, so he couldn't take that IR spot. So I'm just looking to see if there's a way to put somebody back into an IR spot from that group, but it looks like all those guys are slated to potentially play.
Well,
they're just not going to be effective.
And if we knew what the hell was going on with the Titans and Bills, well, then there's your out. But
you put Right.
We're dragging our feet on this because they're trying to get the game in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the NFL 100% wants that game to play.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do.
It screws up a lot of things if it doesn't play. So here was a tweet from Adam Schefter this morning, about 10 minutes ago. Here is the plan per sources, which is tied to Tennessee being able to play. So the NFL is pushing for the Titans to play, and here's their plan. The Broncos and the Patriots will play next Sunday. We already know that. Week 8 was supposed to be Denver bye, so then you get the Chargers and Broncos that week. And then week 11, which was the scheduled Miami bye, you get the Dolphins at the Broncos. So they really want that game to play because they've got a schedule in place already for it if it can go.
They're just shifting things all around, trying to make it work.
Yeah,
they didn't have a pre-plan. Yeah. I mean, really, realistically, so anybody here who are you dropping? You said Edmonds or who? Steve?
I mean, I don't know what his tight end situation's like. So I mean, there's Higbee too. You know what I mean?
Schultz. So
Schultz, yeah. I would drop Edmonds.
I'd drop Higbee, but
I would drop Higbee and keep the running back depth.
Yep. So drop Higbee. It hurts, but it'll get you that quarterback you need this week.
Yep.
Let's see. Connor Nero 15 says Mixon, Mike Davis, Keenan Allen, and Jonathan Taylor, full PPR, choose 3.
All right. So I think we can all agree he's playing Keenan Allen in a PPR, right? Like that dude has just been straight balling. So I'm starting Keenan Allen. The way Mike Davis has been playing, for me, he's a must start. So now it comes down to Mixon and Taylor. And I think I'm gonna sit Mixon.
Yeah, as much as I love Mixon, I'm sitting him against Baltimore, and then I mean, sure, Naheem Hines can get some touches or whatever, but I mean, the Browns' defense isn't bad, but they're also not the greatest. So, and that's a good offensive line. Jonathan Taylor, he's definitely playing well enough, but so I would rather take his upside over Mixon against the Ravens.
And that's 3 for 3.
And that's painful to sit Mixon though, but
Mixon stood out for me just at a sore thumb just because of a matchup here, because I would almost never start Jonathan Taylor over Mixon, but against that Ravens team, I can't look back at last week, kind of like you with OBJ, even though I can't look back at a week where the Bengals just dominated and go, okay, Mixon's back 100%. And I'm going to play him against everybody, including the Ravens. I can't play him against the Raisins this week.
The Raisins. Whatever happened to those guys, man? The
California Raisins? I don't know.
I was gonna start singing the song, but I was like, I don't think nobody is here to listen to me sing.
I still think somewhere my parents have those little. You remember those little mini figures you got at McDonald's?
Yeah, the little figurines. Yeah.
They're still somewhere at my parent's house. Next week, if I can,
they're probably on the shelf in the back behind you, next to all your Eeyore stuff.
Yeah. if I can find the California Raisins, they'll be on the show next week. All right. So minimal impact. She says I need a wide receiver and a flex in standard. So it's Drake, Gibson, Justin Jefferson, Gibson. So wide receivers. I mean, an obvious one there, right?
Justin Jefferson, because that's the only wide receiver.
He has Gibson twice, though. What could be the other Gibson? Or
I have a feeling
write it twice.
Yeah, I have a feeling she has another wide receiver and she typed Gibson twice. And then so for the flex, so it's Justin Jefferson based on this list, and then I'm going Gibson because I haven't seen anything out of Drake this week or this year.
If anybody, he just sent something through.
Juju.
There's Juju. So
this is easy. Justin Jefferson and Juju. Start them both. There's your wide receiver. There's your flex.
Think so?
I tend to agree.
Yeah, I do.
You're big on Gibson. You're planting your flag on Gibson this week. I can see it.
It's a standard league. Justin Jefferson, despite not playing the first 2 games, He's number 9 overall in receiving yards for wide receivers. So you're starting him.
It's standard league,
It's
man.
number 9 wide receiver in standard. You're starting.
I mean, I guess. I mean, we all, and anybody who's been following me knows how I feel about Drake, so that's out of the question. Juju, you're starting. Personally, I'd probably go Gibson over Jefferson, but that's 2 against 1.
All right, George.
You guys
and
suck.
Is that just because I brought up the California Raisins?
No, those guys were cool. That's why I asked what happened to them, dude. I
love those guys. I'm gonna while George switches over to the Mixler questions, I'm gonna Google California Raisins.
Well, do we have any? I don't know if we have any calls or not.
Bet you wondering how I feel about your plans
To make it through.
for some other thing that you knew before.
See, how can you not miss that?
Well, listen, I can tell you how I miss it just by hearing George sing it. Because you guys had guys like George walking through the halls singing that.
This is the largest audience I've ever sang in front of. It's kind of impressive, actually.
Real
All
quick
right,
before we jump over to Mixler, though, just to kind of touch on Oswaldo's situation, and then we'll come back and get these other ones. But Bridgewater, Jimmy G, or Wentz, I'd probably go Bridgewater for me.
Same.
And so for everybody's knowledge, first appearance for the California Raisins, 1986. Last appearance, 1998. I do not remember why. I do not remember why they would come out in 1998. I don't remember that at all.
They were trying to make a comeback.
Their decline was, although popular with the public, the California Raisin campaign eventually failed because its production costs and the raisin growers it cost the raisin growers twice their earnings. So yeah, huge fail, even though they were the coolest raisins around.
All right, let's hit Mixler.
Yeah, so got a little comment here from Bobby. I think it's a throwback to the Friday night AMA as well as the last couple of weeks. Also, I'm about to enjoy some ham steak instead of bacon, which obviously makes him communist. And he's going to enjoy it with some mayonnaise, which the mayonnaise was a throwback to the Friday AMA. That's good stuff, Bobby. I love it. Hilda Mack, she wants to know PPR, Higbee or Hurst?
Give me Hurst.
I'll take Hurst as well.
Yep, give me Hayden Hurst.
Matchup and consistent target volume.
Yep. Fear the Claw says, good morning, guys. Just tuning in. What do you think about the Titans game? So I believe we've talked about this. The NFL seems to be doing absolutely everything they can to make this game happen. Should it happen? I don't think so. Will it happen? I don't think so. But the NFL is looking for any and all reason to make it happen. They absolutely do not want to cancel this game. Anybody who says player safety in regards to the NFL, take a quick look at how quick they canceled the New England game, yet they're doing everything possible not to cancel this game. The NFL does not care about player safety. Hilda Mack wants to know PPR, 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So let's do the 2 wide receivers first. Michael Thomas, Will Fuller, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson.
Wait, say that again.
Fuller, Kupp, Jefferson, Thomas.
This is full PPR.
Yes, full PPR. She needs 2.
I'm probably gonna go Jefferson Kupp.
And I was going to say Fuller Kupp. So George, can you break the tie between Jefferson and Fuller?
Yeah, I'm going to go Fuller. Listen, I like Jefferson. I like him a lot. But I've been told by Dirty Jobs that we cannot sit Will Fuller, so therefore we will not sit Will Fuller.
Steve,
Mike didn't say anything. He's sleeping.
I love Steve's pouty face.
So real quick, breaking news. Julio Jones is inactive for today's game.
Shocker.
Also, this may surprise somebody. I don't know who. Apparently, according to Jason La Canforna,
Haskins to be traded.
I don't know
Wow.
what you're going to get for Haskins, but looks like he's on the move.
Man, if you picked up Kyle Allen, you're happy for the rest of this year, at least. And that immediately tells me they're putting themselves in the sweepstakes for the likes of Trevor
Justin
Lawrence,
Fields and Trevor
Justin
Lawrence.
Fields, Trey Lance.
I mean, listen, it's not like Haskins. It's not like Haskins showed us anything that made you go to make you think that that's a shock. But it really is kind of a shock that they're doing it mid-season.
So here's why it doesn't. Here's why. Here's why it doesn't really shock.
So,
me.
all right, hang on. Before you say that, it's funny because I was reading through the comments on Sleeper through that. Somebody goes, this would be better if Bill O'Brien was still there. Breaking news, Texans trade Deshaun Watson and a second-round pick for Dwayne Haskins.
Here's the problem. Miami owns that second-round pick, so they better be given their third.
They might have traded a future. You never know.
Man, that
is good. That is good. But here's the thing: like with Ron Rivera there, he's cleaning house. There's absolutely no loyalty whatsoever to anybody on that team. I mean, we've seen one quick screw up, and it was a major screw up. Don't get me wrong, but screw up by Geis, gone. Dwayne Haskins, gone.
That's a little different though. Like it's not like Dwayne Haskins choked on anything but football.
I mean, listen, you choke one, you choke them all, right? I mean, he's gone.
Damn, George is about choking. Woo.
Yeah, George knows about the choking.
I guess so.
To me, it's crazy. Just to cut a guy you picked or trade a guy. Jeff Rosen did it, right? And I don't see Dwayne Haskins doing anything that Rosen didn't.
Rosen?
Josh, yeah, Jeff, whatever. That guy,
My name is Jeff.
He's on the Bucks. He's on the Bucks. I still don't know his name. That's how well he's played in the NFL. That news floors me this morning. Where do you think?
What a wild Sunday, man.
Where do you see him landing? Who needs him, right? Like this far into the season for the future.
The Lions. You want to know how this? Before Bob Quinn's fired, he's going to trade for Dwayne Haskins.
That is a Lions thing to do.
Exactly.
I could see Pittsburgh trading like a 4th or 5th or 6th round pick for him, just to have somebody behind Big Ben. Just because they listen, they've got terrible backup quarterbacks in Pittsburgh, and if you're telling me you could get Dwayne Haskins for a late round pick just to put him on the bench behind Ben, and have somebody who is he'd be a better backup than what they've got.
No, what I would love to see, which Juju kind of put out there that he'd love to play with him again, is Pittsburgh go get Sam Darnold out of New York. Just get him out of there. That's what I'd really like to see, to be honest with you.
Jameis Winston is going to Pittsburgh after Ben retires this year.
It would be a good fit, to be honest.
Unless Breeze retires, why would he leave New Orleans?
I mean, good point. All right. Well, I mean, now New Orleans isn't used to having somebody who can throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, listen, those five yards per passing attempt for Drew Brees is lighting the world on fire. Anyway, let's get back to these questions. We've been sidetracked most of the morning. Did we ever answer Hildemack's 2 wide receivers and a flex? Michael Thomas, Will Fuller, Kupp, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, we did. We did because
so we need a flex now. Add in what she's got plus David Johnson.
Oh, so we get to go back and actually play. Who was it that we can go back and play Justin Jefferson?
Yeah. So I think that the flex comes down to Jefferson or David Johnson.
I'm playing the 3 wide receivers.
I am as well.
So we all got our way. Start your 3 receivers. Sit Thomas. Sit David Johnson. Fear the Claw says, who should I start? Pick 1 running back, 1 flex. Running backs are Singletary, McKinnon, Jeff Wilson.
McKinnon.
The flex is Singletary, Jeff Wilson, Will Fuller, Randall Cobb. It's a PPR league.
Fuller.
Yeah, I'm going Fuller as well. So start McKinnon, start Will Fuller. Bobby Pigskins needs a wide receiver 2 and a flex. He's got Gallup, Hilton, Brandon Cooks, and Watkins for the wide receiver.
We need one.
Yep, you need one between Gallup, Hilton, Cooks, and Watkins.
I'd probably go Watkins. Watkins, when on the field, has had a safe floor.
Did you ever think you'd pick him over the rest of them?
No.
If I'd have told Steve at the beginning of the year he would be recommending Sammy Watkins over Hilton and Gallup, he probably would have just defriended me.
Over Hilton, I wouldn't put it past that. Gallup, I would think a little bit different, but there's just a lot of targets going around. But here's the thing, though, too. Like, even with that Dallas Giants game, I mean, the Dallas's defense has been bad enough to where New York should still even be able to move the ball, even though it's the Giants. So that's a game that there's going to be footballs flying around everywhere. So, I mean, Gallup probably isn't a bad play, but I think Watkins has had a safer floor through the season so far.
I do want Watkins. I think Gallup does have a higher ceiling just because there's
absolutely.
But it hasn't come to fruition so far. So you can't trust it even against a bad Giants defense. So like you said, you get a safe floor and Watkins, we saw week 1, he does have some upside. There's a world there where he scores a bunch and catches a bunch of passes. So I'm going.
Just a quick update for those, and they're probably looking at this, and this is as expected, but Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown are active against Cincinnati. So
correct.
And they say he's 100%, which you like to hear because, and just held out as precaution from practice. So against that Cincinnati, I mean, you start him every week, but against Cincinnati, man, your eyes get real big.
All right. So did we ever decide between Gallup, Hilton, Cooks, and Watkins?
We said Watkins. Or two of us did.
Okay. Now let's add a flex. Same options: Gallup, Hilton, Cooks, or Thomas. Thomas. I believe that's the tight end.
Oh, Logan
Thomas.
Honestly, what were the added options besides Logan Thomas?
He's the only one that's added. So it's Gallup, Hilton, Cooks, or Logan Thomas.
I would go Gallup.
I would too.
Yep.
All right. So start Gallup, start Watkins.
Yep.
Fear the Claw, random question for a survivor pool. You guys think Rams over Washington, right? Yeah, I do. Yes. For sure.
That's a survivor pool question. I like that.
I mean, listen, you could have that Kyle Allen spark.
There's no such thing as a Kyle Allen spark, Jason.
I'm making Kyle Allen my number 1 quarterback this week. Let me adjust my rankings.
Can we change his
adjusted?
Can we make his nicknames be Spark? Can we do that? Like, can we get that trending?
No.
I don't know if it's going to trend.
Matt Mosher wants to know, need 2 wide receivers. Who do I start? Slayton, Deontay Johnson, Michael Thomas, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, or Hopkins.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So Hopkins, right? There's one.
Hopkins for sure.
And now
I think it's Hopkins and Deontay Johnson.
I think it is as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Also need 2 flex. So the flex is Michael Thomas, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Higbee, Gibson, or Joshua Kelly.
Gibson, and I'm going to go with Robbie Anderson.
Over DJ Moore.
Oh, sorry. I heard DJ. I didn't hear. Fuck. Excuse my language. I would say DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, but I don't know if I want both from the same team. So I'm going to say DJ Moore and Gibson.
I don't know, man. Robbie Anderson has had a lot more touchdowns. He's had more touchdown opportunities. I love DJ Moore and his PPR value, but the touchdown upside isn't there. So I'm going Gibson, Robbie Anderson, probably.
As am I. Which, by the way, when you listen to the Sleeper Wire show, this is the problems you have. Way too many good players. He says he's starting Sanders and Carson at RB. So the team is loaded. Tough decisions, but they're all good decisions to have. Stone Cold Rogers wants to know, last-minute trade for Le'Veon Bell, 2020 second or third and Paris Campbell. So I think he wants to know, would you trade a 2021 second or third and Paris Campbell for Le'Veon Bell? If I could do the third and Paris Campbell for Bell, I would do it.
Yep.
As long as I'm getting Bell.
Yeah, I don't give a second.
Nope, I agree. Yeah, Campbell in third. Campbell has a lot of upside. He really does. I know he was injured all last year. We saw a good week 1 out of him, and then he got hurt. The upside's there. I mean, realistically, I'm not even making the deal unless I'm starving for running backs. That's just me.
Yep. Jesus Mert wants to know Jared Cook or David Njoku, PPR.
I'm going to say Jared Cook.
If he plays, I'm playing Cook.
Yeah,
he said out last week. I told everybody that it would be smart to start. I can't even remember his name now. Troutman for the Saints, and that boy that gave me a couple of goose eggs last week. So,
Colonel Troutman.
Yep. If Cook plays, I would play Cook over Njoku.
See, I don't think Cooks is playing, but if he's playing, you're playing him.
Yeah, he's questionable. That's the only reason why.
If he plays, you're playing him, absolutely.
Yep. So last one we got here in the mix.
Wait a minute. That's tough, though, because Cook plays Monday night.
Yep.
So
have we gotten anything out of Njoku?
I think he scored a touchdown. I think last week. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not good. It's I mean, yeah, I'm going Cook.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that leaves you in trouble for Monday night. But I'm gonna roll with Cook because I don't know that the 3 or 4 points I'm expecting out of Njoku is that much better.
Yeah, I mean, you're rolling the dice either way. I mean, I'm looking up Njoku right now. I mean, he had a 1 yard touchdown like first week, I think, and then after that he got hurt, and then I don't know that I've seen much from him since. Yeah, he really hasn't done.
So if you're listening at home, I do just want to say real quick, if you call, your call gets put through right away on the air. Give us a call, 205-797-5337. That's 205-79-SLEEP. And you get put in right on the air.
Honestly, man, at that point, I would drop Njoku if there's another tight end out there we're starting.
Yeah.
And then, decide if you want to go Cook from there. But I mean, I'd rather roll the dice on Cook playing over Njoku or drop Njoku and find somebody else we're starting.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
So let me get the last question on Mixer, Jason, and then you can run through the questions there. Last one is from Matt Mosher 1. Derek Carr or Carson Wentz? And it's a PPR league, but I don't understand why that matters for quarterbacks.
Unless Derek Carr is catching his own passes, I'm going to say Derek. I think we did this earlier, but in case he wasn't there to hear it. I think we all said Carr.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Reese Thomas asks Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Brees.
I think I'm going Matt Ryan. I'm going back to that well.
I like Ryan or Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, he's throwing for a lot of yards. He just haven't gotten a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, and realistically, I mean, not that Julio catches a lot of touchdowns every year, but that kind of hurts that in a way because now you're focusing your attention towards Calvin Ridley. You're focusing your attention towards Russell Gage, which rightfully so. But still, I mean, yeah, I think I would go Ryan there just because you're going to get the yards. And then, I mean, the touchdown upside is there. It's just a matter. It's got to happen.
Okay, so now I get to make the grumpy face because I'm going to say Teddy Bridgewater. It'll be 2 against 1.
Let's see how good your grumpy face is.
No, I don't have a good grumpy face.
You should do an Eeyore face, Jason. It would be very fitting for the background there.
Oh bother! I can't believe you chose. I can't believe you chose them.
I don't hate Bridgewater though. I don't.
No, I want Bridgewater against the Falcons with all his weapons versus Matt Ryan against the Panthers with a gimpy Ridley and Julio Jones out. So that's the only reason, because normally it would all be Matt Ryan for me. But so
hold on real quick though. I don't know if we put this out there, but this was at Pro Football Talk put it out at 10 o'clock this morning that the NFL will make a decision in the next few hours about the Bills-Titans game set for Tuesday.
So all of our
pay
advice,
attention to that, and hopefully they get it in before 1 o'clock starts.
So all of our advice this morning will be for not if they say yes, we're absolutely playing that game, because like you can go back and start a lot of your Bills, but that's what you deal with when you have no idea what they're
change.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they could say today, here's the plan, and then tomorrow 3 people test positive and it's over again. So
yeah, it's still a risk. Hey, Jason,
I do want to mention that we have some phone calls.
Yes.
So
I've got to step away for just a minute. I'll be right back. Hopefully I'll be back by the time you're done with the first phone call.
So callers, I want you to know that George didn't want to talk to you, so George is stepping away. and
100% correct. 100% correct.
Caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name and where are you from?
Well, I guess that's on me, right? I'm like, I'll step in right here. Caller, you're on. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, how we doing?
Doing good. I don't know if this is the same group that was on earlier in the week. This is DJ.
Oh, yeah. What's up, DJ? Probably the mail sack crew, but possibly. We never know.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Well, I have Joshua Kelly and McKinnon. I don't really want to play the risk of putting A.J. Brown in my flex because they play on Tuesday, and with everything going on, it could be canceled. I don't know, right? But really, my question is going between McKinnon and Joshua Kelly on who to start there in the flex. I already got Gibson and Kamara at the running back spot, so those are pretty much locks.
For me, I'd probably go McKinnon here. I like Joshua Kelly, but I also like McKinnon.
I was gonna lean McKinnon as well. Yep.
Good. Now I can save my guy without just leading you wrong. But yeah, I wouldn't go McKinnon. I do like Josh Kelly way too much. I think without Austin Eckler in that backfield, he's going to be a huge dominant force on that team. But it's 2-1. So, and I don't mind McKinnon either. It's really close.
My biggest thing with Kelly is he's on the road against New Orleans, and New Orleans defense is good.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't been really all that great, especially against the pass this year. So.
Okay. So you want to go McKinnon there to flex over Kelly?
Yeah, that's 2 of us want to go McKinnon.
Yep, 2-1 McKinnon.
Okay. What about Hunter Henry or Eric Ebron? I got both of them.
Eric Ebron for me, and it's not hardly close. I have Ebron at the top 10 this week.
Yeah, I don't hate Ebron. I don't hate that pick at all.
All right, well then good. I can say Hunter Henry, so it's 2 Ebron 1. So that's 2 Ebron 1 Hunter Henry.
All right, Ebron it is, man. I appreciate it, fella.
You got it.
All right. Good luck this week.
Good luck, DJ.
All right, and we can jump into the next caller, Mike, whenever you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
What up, dog?
Hey, Al.
Y'all all right? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, man. What's a good word?
Nice of you to wake up, Al.
Yeah, it was, I went out last night. I was at the bar. I had a late night, definitely. I'm headed actually back to the bar, so.
Did you lose your car there?
Huh?
Did you leave your car there?
No. My girl drove.
Oh, okay. That works.
Safety first.
And I was going back to meet up with another friend because, Lions are on the bye week, so we get to have a little fun today. So we just watch every other game and enjoy ourselves. And we do not need Dwayne Haskins.
I'm so glad you caught that, Al. I'm so glad. You're right. We don't, but you have to admit, dude, it's a Lion thing to do. Come on.
It's definitely a Lions move. That's what they do.
It's actually a Detroit move. I feel like the Pistons do the same.
They do, man. Do we need to revisit Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva and all that stuff? I mean, come on, we can go there if you want.
The Detroit Rehab. That's what it should be called. The Detroit Rehab.
Well, you got to bring up bad memories for them Detroit fans, Steve.
Hey, because I lived it, man. I'm a diehard Piston fan, and I lived through it. It's brutal.
And you guys said George stepped away?
No, I'm here.
George is back.
I'm here. I had to go get some water. I've been talking a lot. My throat was a little dry.
I'm with you.
I wonder why.
So, all right. This is about to come out bad. You say your throat's a little dry, and when I checked into the show, it was a lot of choke talk going on.
Yeah, there was some choke talk going on.
You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong.
But all right, fantasy football. I hit y'all up with that trade, right? He's been back and forth with me the last few days. This is what he sent me last night, but I didn't want to do anything because I was not in the right mind. Joe Mixon, Deontay Johnson. Now he wants to try to give me Jerry Jeudy because I told him I didn't need a tight end, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I will be giving him OBJ, Nick Chubb, Miles Sanders, and Antonio Gibson.
Who are you getting again?
I will be getting Joe Mixon, Deontay Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That will leave me with David Johnson and Dearness Johnson.
Smash accept.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, you take
like
that
break your phone, smashing accept.
I agree.
Okay, I'm about to do that right now, Deb. Before I ask any more questions, then I need to figure out who to start. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Give me a second, fellas. Where is it? Accept, damn it.
Good work. Let me throw that out there. Good work.
Oh yeah. Trade is accepted. Okay.
Oh, Al, before you go on, hold on 1 second. Al, hang on 1 second. I want all our listeners to know one thing too. Something very important that Al said there. He didn't do the trade last night because he was in no frame of mind to do it. This trade is amazing, but Al was drunk and didn't know what he was reading. Be smart. Be smart. And if you're in a situation where you're inebriated, if you can't drive home, you can't make fantasy football trades. That's just a tip from me to you. Don't go out and try and make trades when you're drunk as crap because you're usually going to give away way too much. So anyway,
don't drink and drive and don't drink and trade.
There you go. So go ahead, Al. Sorry, I'm impressed by your move there, waiting till the morning.
I had to, man. I'm like, all right, let me get this together. Oh, the league is about to be on bump. That trade that just happened right before the shit jumps off. Josh Allen with this whole Buffalo, Tennessee thing. Should I just avoid it and play Deshaun Watson finally? With all this new energy with the head coach being fired and whatnot?
I would.
Yeah, I'd play Watson and just, if you miss out on 1 week of Allen, you miss out on 1 week of Allen. It's Mike said on our Friday night show that you should put some respect behind Josh Allen's name and play him in his bye week. He'll still get.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I feel that.
He said he'll still get you 12 points.
I got the cores in hand.
But no, I would play Watson there.
Yeah, I think I would play Watson as well.
Okay, and then. So who should I flex? My wide receivers would be Woods and DJ Chark. And then I have Jamison Crowder, T. Higgins, John Brown. That's the whole same thing. Or do I flex Joe Mixon now that I have him?
This week, I think I go Crowder.
Yeah, I was going to say it comes down to Crowder and Mixon for me. I think I'll go Crowder. It would be a smash on Crowder if it was Sam Darnold and not Joe Flacco. Flacco does make me pause for a second, but I still think I go Crowder over Mixon.
Because of that situation, I'm going Mixon. I'd go Mixon.
You're going Mixon.
Give me the running back.
Go. You know what? Go Mixon. Go with the running back. Get your guaranteed touches. Like, they could be 20 really, really shitty touches, but one of them may be enough for him to fall into the end zone. So I would go Mixon over Crowder.
Okay. So you're not worried about the matchup against Baltimore. All right.
I am worried. I'm tempering expectations. I'm not expecting a huge game from Mixon.
I just look at what Antonio Gibson did last week, and Dwayne Haskins was his quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I feel that. Okay. Guess we'll just have to go with it and see what happens. I'm 3-1, so if I take an L, whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But okay, that'll work. I'm probably going to drop Jerry Jeudy. I need a kicker. I forgot about a kicker. And, I'll tell you why I forgot about a kicker. It's only because earlier in the week, and I was waiting till I talked to y'all to talk about it. I thought I could call Friday, but I guess it was, it's a chat line with you guys. But I wanted to call Friday and tell y'all I was offered a trade, and what was sent to me was the Kansas City Chiefs defense and Miles Sanders for my Indianapolis defense. I smashed accept.
You got Miles Sanders for a defense.
I got offered a running back and a defense for a defense.
Hey, Al, is that league got openings next year? I'm looking to expand leagues.
Never do that, people. Never do it. If it's offered to you, you take it, but never do that.
It was that blow up week where Indianapolis had like the fumbles and they got the interceptions and the returns on the interceptions. So in my league, there's a little different score. I guess he had a lot of faith in his Indianapolis coach. Oh, and he does love Phillip Rivers, so it makes sense. But he offered the trade to me. I had accept. My league went into a frenzy. They thought it was collusion, this, that, and this. I said, look, I don't play this game to cheat. I play this game to win. If he offers me this, I'm hitting accept. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if it was me, I'd do the exact same thing, and then just tell the league, listen, if you're upset about it, then maybe next year you shouldn't have people that don't know how to play in the league. But it's not my problem in season when I get offered.
Or what you could do is, if the league is that upset about it, I would say what you could also do is say, listen, if you guys are that upset about this trade, next year let's just get rid of team defense and not have them. And while we're at it, let's get rid of kickers and not have them either, because there's no reason we should be playing in leagues with kickers and defenses.
Yep.
Okay.
What else you got for us, Al?
Pulling up to the bar, about to give me some more Coors Lights.
Okay, get at it.
Well, you guys, good luck.
All right, man. Good luck this week, Al. Thanks for calling.
Always. Appreciate y'all.
Good luck, Al. Good one for me.
All right, and we've got another call on hold. So, caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
It's a man, Paul from New York. How you guys doing?
What's up,
Good.
Paul?
How about you?
What's going on, Paul? How you doing?
Hey, man. Very hungover, but Sunday day.
It is Sunday morning.
I woke up with some shitty ass news, man, about Julio Jones not playing. So I was trying to do some crazy moves. I saw that guy Olamide Zacchaeus was available. I saw how well he did. Whenever Julio was absent. So I was gonna call and ask you guys what you guys think about dropping Cole Beasley for Olamide, and I was literally about to do it, and then a friend of mine just picked him up. So I just got shafted right there. So that defeats my purpose of calling and my question. But now it's more or less my other league. I have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I don't know, man. I've got a feeling, the fantasy gods are going to screw me, and if I sit them out, they're actually going to play. But at the same time, if they do play, I have Justin Herbert to replace, Josh Allen, and that's a Monday game. So, we're obviously going to know more details about it tomorrow versus today. So I don't mind putting in Herbert. The main thing is, I just picked up Olamide in my other league to replace Stephon. Do you think that's a decent move? You think?
Honestly, I would probably put Olamide Zaccheaus and Justin Herbert in because I don't see that game happening. Yeah, I don't know if you caught it or not, but the NFL was saying that they're going to have details on that game, whether it's going to happen or not today. So, I mean, I guess you could monitor that situation. So,
okay.
Yeah, I would pick them up.
I am so screwed in my other league.
Well, you may not be. Listen, if they play that game, we'll know hopefully today. So it gives us a little time. But it's just one of those things with it being up in the air like it is. You need to have the in case of emergency break glass player. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But my thing is this: I have AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, and I also have Cole Beasley too in my other league. Do you think let's say the Titans do end up playing, would you start AJ Brown after his long week of absence?
I mean, it depends on what your other options are. What are your other options?
Well, it was Julio, Tanyan's he's on a bye, and then Zach Moss. So it's really not. It's just either Zach Moss or AJ Brown, essentially. My other options are Cole Beasley, Gallup, and Higgins. So I mean, I feel like I got to start. I feel like I got to start Gallup against the Giants. For some reason, Dallas and Giants always have a nice game where someone's going to break out, and it might be Gallup.
Yeah, so based on what you have, I think you are starting AJ Brown if that game goes. I guess you're just stuck if they don't play. I mean, it is.
And they're doing everything they can to get that game to play.
They need it to play.
Yeah, true.
They do.
They do need it to play, so they're trying everything they can do. So it's just tough. But you'll know today, and hopefully, if they don't go, you can find somebody to pick up.
Yeah, it's just risk versus reward.
So risk versus reward, I guess. Would you start AJ Brown over Cole Beasley out of the people I have, or would you start maybe Devontae Freeman instead of at the flex?
No, I mean, if you don't want to go the risk route, play Devonta Freeman. But if the game happens between AJ Brown and Cole Beasley, they're both in the same game. If the game happens, I'm playing AJ Brown all day long. I don't care if he's missed the first 4 weeks of the season. I'll play him over Cole Beasley. Yeah,
good point. That's a valid point. I really like that actually. So yeah, good call. All right. Well, hopefully this game happens. Guys, I appreciate your insight. It's always quality, guys. I appreciate it.
No
we
problem,
appreciate
man.
you. Thank you very much.
Good luck this week.
I got appreciate that, guys. One love.
All right.
Absolutely.
And we've got one more caller. So, caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Well, my name is Fallon, and I'm from Denver.
No, we can hang up on this caller.
A couple questions. Do you guys trust Jimmy G coming off the injury?
Well,
who are you starting him over? Like, what's your other options?
Right, that's the question.
Minshew?
I think I play Minshew over Jimmy G.
Yeah, I think I want Minshew. No, I'm taking Jimmy G over the Dolphins. I'm going to do that. So, Steve, you're the...
You know where I'm going with it.
Freaking 49er homer.
No, I just
I know. I'm giving you a hard time.
It's the matchup. He's got his receivers. He's got Kittle. You have Mostert. You have McKinnon. Everybody's there, and it's a much better system.
And they're playing the Dolphins.
Speaking
of the other receivers, what about Debo? Because I know he started last week. He didn't play much, but do we trust him this week with Miami?
I mean, what are your other options?
Yeah.
Well, I've got him in like 3 or 4 different leagues, so it's not like
It's
Well, one we have Ayuke or whatever his name is, the rookie.
Brandon
yes,
Ayuk.
I play him over Ayuk.
As do I.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then the person I'm nervous about is OBJ. Last week, he had 3 touchdowns. One was a gadget play, but before that, he was wide receiver 77, I think, and then he was 79, and then he was like 73. He wasn't doing very well for the first 3 weeks. He did great one week, and I just don't know if I want to play him or not in a standard league. Do I trust OBJ this week or no? My other options are Shark, Devo, and Ayuk.
So in standard, I still am going with OBJ.
Yeah, so am I. It's one of those things where his ceiling is so high that it's really hard to sit him.
So is Charks.
Yeah.
And he's going to be, to me, his volume's more consistent.
Okay, so 2 for OBJ, 1 for Chark.
2 for Shark, 1 for OBJ.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to go Shark because I just have that weird feeling about him. Well, and my last question is: do we trust Bell coming off IR?
If you're desperate, you got to play him. If you have other options, I'd go down that road.
All right.
It just depends on who you got going over Bell.
Welcome to the show.
All right. Thank you, Fallon.
Bye.
Right. And so it looks like we got another call. So caller, you're on with the Blitz. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey guys, it's Alex from California.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, what's going on, Alex?
Not much. Just got a couple of, I guess I got a good situation, but a lot of options here today. Got a lot of guys that got healthy off my bench. So I'm kind of stuck between who I should start between DJ Moore and Deebo Samuel, knowing that Deebo might have a little bit more of a bigger role today.
And because I think the touchdown upside's the same for both. Is it PPR? Like full PPR?
Yes, PPR. Yeah, it's full PPR.
I'd probably go DJ Moore then.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say DJ Moore, so that's 2. George?
Yep, DJ Moore for sure.
Okay. And then for my RB2, I got quite a lot of options here. I got Gibson, David Johnson, and Joshua Kelly. I'm not ready to throw Le'Veon Bell in yet. I think he's going to get kind of slowly fitted back in.
I think I'm going David Johnson.
So 1 David Johnson, 1 Gibson, and I'm gonna break the tie and I'm gonna switch over to I'm gonna make Steve get a smiley face and I'm gonna say Gibson.
He has come to the dark side.
I'm on the dark side. So 2 for Gibson there, 1 for Johnson. I'm finally not on a side with a guy named Johnson.
Yeah, and then now it just moves to my flex, and it goes David Johnson or Joshua Kelly or Deebo Samuel for that.
I'll ride with George, and I'll say Johnson.
Yeah, I was going to go Johnson there as well.
I'm going to ride George's Johnson.
Yeah, give me the running back.
All right, sounds good. I mean, you guys made it easier than where I was at.
Well, that's what we're here for, man. We're here to help you.
For sure, guys. All right, well, I appreciate it. You guys have a good day and good luck.
Awesome. Good luck, Big Alex. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, and now our calls are clear. We're going to burn through some of these questions. Thank you guys for waiting so patiently on the questions. So we are at Oswaldo, Bridgewater, Jimmy G, or Wentz.
We did that before we broke.
Oh, we did. Okay.
We decided Bridgewater. So we're
all
at
right.
Pac Main.
Yeah. So hey guys, I'm weak on players and am starting Greg Ward in a deep league. Do you guys like him, or do you make any recommendations for last minute pickups? And this goes back to what we were saying to Fallon. When you ask these questions, it's good for us to have options of who's available. I do like Greg Ward. any given week. I think he's an okay play, but I don't know who your other options are.
Yeah, and everybody's out. I mean, realistically, Greg Ward and the rookie John Hightower, they're 2 of 4 healthy wide receivers. You know, JJ Arcega-Whiteside's supposed to be back, and he hasn't done anything. And I mean, Ward, Ertz, Miles Sanders, I mean, those guys are going to be heavily involved, I think.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Akins, if he plays, or Gesicki?
Give me Gesicki.
Yeah,
Akins is not playing, though.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Akins if he plays, but I hadn't seen, so I'll say Gesicki because
I'm pretty sure last time I was going through my rankings that he was already out.
Okay. If AJ Brown is back this week, do you bench Crowder or Parker for him in half-point PPR?
I'm benching neither for him because I don't want to play anybody in that game.
Yeah, it's high risk, high reward.
Yep.
You know, and this would be Brown's first game back too, so we don't know what we're getting out of him either.
All right. And Casey 1324 says, is Henderson worth playing with Cam Akers being active this week?
Talk about a muddied backfield.
Yeah, I don't want any part of this backfield if I can, avoid it. But if I don't know what your other options are, but if he's the only option you have, if you have another wide receiver to throw into your flex spot or something like that, it all depends on what your availability is. But if you can avoid it, I wouldn't play him.
Right. I think if you can avoid that backfield, that's the goal. But I don't know that Cam Akers throws a whole lot of issues behind Henderson because Cam Akers wasn't playing all that much before he got hurt either. It's just you don't know who's going to get the volume there between the three. So if you can avoid it, and if not, you got to go forward with it.
Right.
So Heart Attack Mac. Do we have any more info on Mostert? And we talked about that earlier. As of like an hour ago now, we were seeing reports he was playing.
Yeah, he'll be active. We don't know if he's actually going to play, but he's active.
There you go. So Steven 626C, would you all drop Renfro to take a flyer on Hilliard? I have Hunt and Johnson is taken. 14-team league with 4 bench spots, half PPR.
So I can't imagine being in a 14-team league in a COVID season with only 4 bench spots.
Right.
Whew, that's rough. I don't know. I don't know if I take the flyer on Hilliard in a 14-team league. Knowing I'd have to drop Renfro, who's somebody I could play week in, week out if needed.
Yeah, I'm not dropping Renfro. I mean, with Chubb out, Dearness Johnson, Kareem Hunt, Dontrell Hilliard could still see some touches. And then obviously if one of those guys goes down, his work increases. And the way this season has been going, that's also a possibility. But, I mean, Renfro's been seeing the target volume, so I would hold on to him.
All right. And I'm going to leave this one to Steve because he read the name so beautifully earlier. Do you trust
Zacchaeus?
Olamide Zacchaeus.
I know it's a biblical name, so I'm like, I guess it's pronounced the same. But do you trust him this week?
I mean, Julio's out, and he's been performing, so I don't see why you wouldn't. The matchup's there. Again, depending on your options. If there's other options available, I would probably go down that road. But, if he's somebody that you need to start, I think the upside's there. He'll see some target volume and he has a good matchup.
All right, and Cow 1683 has the dad joke of the day. Hilliard, I hardly even know her. So, the coolest Nate, Keenan Allen, or Juju in a full PPR.
Oh, that's tough. Being that it's full PPR, I'm going to go Keenan Allen just because he's been getting monster target volume.
Yeah, I'm going to go Juju in the matchup.
Yeah, it's tough, though. It's real tough.
I'm going to say Keenan Allen because I think our guest on Friday night said something like, you need to find you someone who loves you like Herbert loves Keenan Allen.
Yeah. And Mike
So-
Williams is still questionable again. So
so it's Keenan Allen and a bunch of also rans.
Yep.
So mint crunchberry.
Sounds like a cereal.
It does. Should I play Matt Ryan without Julio or Derek Carr?
I'm still playing Ryan.
Yeah, I'm still playing Ryan.
Yeah, I'm playing Ryan. All right, and this is our last question from the chat, and then we can jump back over to Mixler. Watson or wait on Josh Allen?
Watson.
And Watson for me as well. So that wraps us up on what we've got in our chat here. So George, if you want to jump over to Mixler.
Yep, absolutely. Fear the Claw says, risk it with Janu or Eifert. And here's a situation where I will absolutely risk it with Janu.
I don't know if I would.
I would. Eifert's only getting 2 or 3 catches a game. He's only averaging like 3 or 4 points a game. I'm gonna wait on Janu here. This is
one of them goes in the end zone though.
Yeah.
Top 12 tight end immediately.
Yeah, it just hasn't been happening for Eifert this season.
So yeah, Eifert 3 for 36, 2 for 11, 2 for 22. He's only got 1 touchdown on the season. You're not missing out on a lot if you don't play him. I mean, you're in full PPR. His best week was 6 points. 13 points with the touchdown, but that was 3 weeks ago.
He's due, baby. He's due.
The last 2 weeks, you'd be missing out on 3 points and 4 points respectively. So,
if he catches a touchdown today, I'm busting your guys' chops in the chat.
For sure. Right?
For sure. And you know what that means? He's going to be the first guy to score, and he's going to do it within 3 minutes of 1 o'clock hitting. It's going to happen.
I'm going to come on the waiver wire show on Tuesday, and I'm going to George Trubisky, Tyler Eifert all over that show.
But just wait a minute though, because watch that. Because as soon as you do that, Jonnu Smith's going to have 15 catches for 187 yards or so, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm waiting for it, Steve, just because I said don't play him. I'm waiting to hear it.
Matt Mosher wants to know, is Edmonds worth a flex spot over Joshua Kelly? I don't think I'm flexing Edmonds over Kelly.
PPR I would. Full PPR I would.
I'm going with the
didn't
volume.
say if it's PPR or not.
I'm going with the volume in Kelly because I think Kelly will still catch some out of the backfield because it's not like Justin Jackson is head and shoulders above Kelly at catching out of the backfield either. So, and they do throw it to their backs, so somebody's going to have to take that role. So,
right, and Justin Jackson and Austin Eckler are pretty much the same running back for 1. For 2, I'm worried about the 2 fumbles that Josh Kelly had and what they're going to do with that going forward. And one of them was on the goal line last week, so.
I'm staying
right.
Kelly just because I know it's guaranteed volume.
Yep, same here. Jesus Merck wants to know top available tight ends on waivers: Greg Olsen, Drew Sample, Tyler Eifert, Logan Thomas, Kyle Rudolph. Which one to drop David Njoku for? I think I would drop Njoku for Greg Olsen.
I think so too. I mean, it's especially in redraft. Seattle has clearly thrown the ball this year.
Yep.
And their defense is not stopping the pass either. So it could be a lot of shootouts this year. Russell Wilson is doing Russell Wilson things. And I mean, I want to say just off the top of my head that Olsen's seeing 4 to 5 targets a game. I could be wrong.
But, you're absolutely correct.
So, I mean, yeah, I would pick him up over Njoku. And then, I can't remember the situation that we talked about with this earlier, who his other option was, but instead of the risk factor, I would probably pick up Olsen and play him.
I'm there too. Normally I might say Drew Sample, but I'm not saying that against the Ravens.
Yeah, exactly. Ricardo Banks wants to know his wide receivers are Robinson, Boyd, Ridley. PPR start 2.
Robinson, I mean, it's
I'm assuming
wide
Robinson,
receivers, right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Allen Robinson's already played, so if you haven't played him, you can't. So that just makes it easy.
All right, and I think those are his starting.
Okay.
PPR, start 2, flex, and a tight end. Ricardo, this question is so confusing. The way he's got it written on here is my wide receivers are Robinson, Boyd, Ridley. PPR, start 2, flex, and a tight end. Okay, I see what he's saying here. So Beasley, Zacchaeus, Pascal, Ebron, Higbee. He's got to start 2 flex and a tight end of that group.
So let's get the tight end out of the way. We're starting Ebron, right? He's the tight end we're starting?
Yes.
Honestly, I'd probably go Higbee, Ebron, Zacchaeus.
And that's where I was leaning as well.
Yep, same here. All right.
Hey, look at what this season has done, man. These are the type of questions that we have. It's crazy.
We're starting Higbee and Ebron and a guy from the Bible.
Yeah.
Just the way we called it in the preseason. Stone Cold Rogers says Steve cannot answer this question. We are playing each other this week. Herbert or Bridgewater?
Hey, before I answer, Steve, could you want to type me something in the chat, the private chat there? We give honest information here. I'm starting Bridgewater.
I'm starting Herbert. Stop it.
Steve, you got to break the tie. And Steve typed to me in the private chat Bridgewater. So that's
start Herbert.
So start
Herbert.
I know who this is too.
Yeah, start.
I could play mind games, but I'm not going to. Especially because earlier I've already planted my flag on Bridgewater over Herbert earlier in this show.
Exactly. We already said it before, so it wasn't that hard for me. But I can see why you'd want Steve out of it. So
pick 2: Raheem Mostert, Kenyon Drake, or Todd Gurley. Half-point PPR.
Mostert, Gurley. I don't trust Kenyon Drake as far as I can throw him, and I'm sure that's not very far. But I haven't been a believer in him. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm Mostert and Gurley as well.
And that makes 3 of us.
Al wants to know thoughts on D. Johnson, wide receiver with Juju's condition. I didn't know Juju had a condition.
I'm not sure what Juju's condition is, but I like Deontay Johnson week in and week out. While these guys are looking up Juju's condition, I like Deontay Johnson anyway.
I do as well.
Yeah, I'm playing Deontay Johnson. I think he's the number 1 wide receiver there.
All right, last one in the Mixler from Ricardo. He wants to know flex, Cole, or Gallup, and I lean Gallup.
Yeah, I'm going to say Gallup as well.
What were the options again?
Keenan Cole.
Keelan Cole or Michael Gallup.
See, I don't mind Keelan Cole. He has the volume as much as Gallup, but there's less options in Jacksonville.
All right, so that's 2 for that's anyway. So that's 2-1, and George just took off. So Mike, are you coming in, or there you go? All right, so we're gonna do Joshua Kelly or Le'Veon Bell. Steve, is this fine? You have avoided saying Josh Kelly his name all day long. Are you finally going to say Josh Kelly?
This is where I'm at. Yep.
Yeah.
Josh Kelly for me.
This is the bar.
This is where we are. This is what it is. Come to people.
I'm
Sanders.
I'm gonna say Josh Kelly there too. Okay, so Josh Gorniak, 99. Miles Sanders or David Johnson?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders for me. Is that the same, Mike?
Yeah, I like Miles Sanders. David Johnson hasn't been doing anything that impresses me lately. So
yeah, he had week 1 was good, but since then,
yeah, he's been out. Yeah, so yeah, for me, Miles Sanders and Joshua Kelly for the one before that.
Absolutely. All right. Need 2 half PPR flex. Gage, Chenault, Diggs, Debo Samuel, Latavius Murray. Just worried about the COVID situation for the Diggs game in Tennessee.
Yeah, the for sure guys, you're playing. That's what I'm going to do. It's hard to sit Diggs, but it's also scary to wait for it. For me, I'm going Chenault Samuel. half PPR, these guys are going to get touches, and they also have the ability to, get a rushing touchdown out of it too, just the way that they're schemed into the offense.
So for me, I feel like this game's going to happen. I feel like I'm so confident in this game happening that I would roll out Diggs. I'm rolling out Josh Allen in the Scott Fish Bowl. I am not afraid. I am ready.
Love the conviction.
Yes, we're going to get this game. If I have to go force this thing to happen, I will. I don't know how I'll do that, but I'll figure it out.
You guys got to keep in mind, Mike has like a serious man love for Josh Allen. So
serious. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
I'm playing it safe, and I'm going Gage, and man, I might say Latavius Murray here, but and George is back. What you can see the answer there, or the question down there, George. Are you going Mike? Are you going with Mike and saying you're gonna? Damn it! I'm starting my Bills. Or what are you taking here?
So my stance this whole time has been, if I don't have a suitable replacement, I'm starting either the Bills or the Titans. I think I would play Shenault and Gage over Diggs.
I'm going Shenault Debo.
And I said Gage, Latavius Murray. So we're not helping anybody here.
So
well, you got two on Mike? Gage and two on Shenault.
Yeah, so 2 and 2. We'll say Gage and Shenault. We're good to go on that one. All right. RG Blitz says, "Hey guys, Marquise Brown or Darius Slayton in the flex PPR?"
I think I'm going to go Slayton. The Giants have had the toughest schedule to start the season than anybody in the NFL. Rest of the way, they have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. So I'm gonna go Slayton here.
I like Slayton. I mean, Brown is boom or bust for me. He's definitely getting enough targets to warrant playing, and we're still looking for his big breakout game, like his big boom game. And the matchup that he has, it could easily happen. In the same token, it can happen for Slayton. And I just feel like Slayton has more opportunity for receptions and their upside as far as big play ability is the same.
Yeah. So we're going to be losing Jason here. It's been a weird, this show has been weird, just like this season has been weird. Jason actually got called in for a work issue at work, so he's going to be leaving us. Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us until about 12:30. Go take care of what you got to take care of at work. We'll close out the show and whatnot without you. So we appreciate you.
Even though George and I missed a show earlier this year because we had to be at the factory.
Yeah.
Get a new job. Come on.
That's got to be like 30 jobs. How many blitzes have I missed? That's all I got to say. That's all
Mike's Mr. Consistent. Mike is definitely Mr. Consistent. Crossman 263 wants to know Hilton or Myles Gaskin for the flex.
Give me the running back.
Yep. Give me the running back, Myles Gaskin.
Absolutely.
Oops.
Sorry.
Josh asked us the same question. He gave us one on Twitch and then one on YouTube. So
that's fine. We appreciate you on both. So if we already did that one, let's move to this one. Another one from Josh. He's got OBJ or Robert Woods.
Give me Woods.
Yeah, give me Woods.
So Miles Sanders on the running back, Robert Woods on the wide receiver. I love the crying Jordan, though. Love it.
Love crying
Jordan. It never gets old. It never gets old.
Never.
It really doesn't.
Yep, they're my absolute favorite. So we are 100% caught up. We don't have any new questions in Mixler. We don't have any new questions on any of the platforms we're currently streaming, which is Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Steve, before we get out, we didn't do it this start show. We probably should have. Do you want to give a quick little bit of housekeeping where they can find us, some of the promotions, some of the partnerships we got going on, and then we'll go ahead and close it out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you guys see all of our Twitter handles right on the screen. You saw Jason's earlier. He's at BFTG Jason, Sleeper Wire Show, at Sleeper Wire Show. You can find all of our work on Patreon. So go to Patreon/SleeperWire. All the articles are out Go check the start sit and the streaming article. The start sits from Jason, and the streaming article is from Chris Moore, not Chris from our great debate show. With oddly enough, we have a writer who also is Chris Moore. So and all the other articles throughout the week from all those guys. So check that out. So you can find those at our Patreon. And again, Patreon/SleeperWire, or you can go to SleeperWire/donate, and there's a Patreon icon there. We have all of our partnerships with Thrive Fantasy, daily fantasy prop bets there. Go there. $20 more that you put in, you get 20 back from Thrive using promo code SLEEPERS. That's SLEEPERS. Screenshot that, fired over to sleeperwire@gmail.com, and you're automatically entered into the Listener League next year. We have our partnership with Pristine Auction. We have our partnership with Destination Devi and Ray GQ. Ray is good. You need to be following him. If you're huge into Dynasty and you're huge into Devi, you need to be following Ray. So make sure you check everything out that he has there. We have the Sleeper Wire show, or not Sleeper Wire show, Sleeper Wire store. A lot of good swag there. Go visit that. Go ahead and support us. You love us. You would be following us every week if you weren't. Check out that and get involved with it. And as always, all of our shows, we have, as I said, the aforementioned, Chris, his great debate show. We have the watch party on Mondays now, the waiver show live on Tuesdays, mail sack on Wednesdays. We have Thursday show. We have the Friday AMAs. Saturday we breathe, and then we come back and do this on Sunday. So a lot of good things going on with Sleeper Wire, man. Get on board and come interact with us. We're doing all this stuff live with the video presence, the calls, all this stuff. We want to interact with you guys. So come join us. Let's have a good time. If there's anything I missed, George, Mike, toss it in there. Let's get out and go set our lineups, guys.
So we the only thing is we got one last question from Hurricane KB17.
Oh, good.
Wants to know if he should sit Jonathan Taylor and play Darius Slayton instead based on matchup. And I'm going to say no, you don't sit Jonathan Taylor.
Negative, Ghost Rider, even in PPR.
Yep, even in PPR, you don't do it. So that'll do it for this week's show. As always, we greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope we helped you set your lineups. Hope we helped you with your trade questions. Let's go out, get that W, and reach out to us on the Monday Night Watch Party and Tuesday waiver shows, as Steve mentioned, and we can help you get those lineups set. Until next week,
up.
Have a good week. Good luck.